Well, it's 29 May, and we're at the finest Catholic university on planet Earth. And every university or organization has something on the periphery or something special as part of the organization. You're about to meet a guy named Patrick Denis Murphy, who you might not have heard of, but everybody's heard of Murf. You're about to turn 21, and you want your first adult beverage. He'd probably be the guy that's serving it to you at the Morris Inn. And he's as much a part of the fabric of Notre Dame as Father Soren or that lady up there in the dome. So right now, let's take a pause and go meet Murf. Okay, well, we're back to 29 May, 2018, and we just had a little intro at the Golden Dome, which you probably saw. And it's nice to see you again, Mr. Murphy.
How you doing, Patrick?
I'm okay. I think we should just start from your roots here in South Bend. Something happened at St. Joe's Hospital many years ago.
Yes. I was born on Virgin Mary's birthday,
Which is
September 8th is what the official date is. The Catholics recognize it.
right.
So I was blessed right from the beginning.
I know. She probably wanted you to go to some school that was named after her, right?
Yeah.
And then you were around 10 when you first did some work here, right? 10?
I was 14.
14.
I was out in the yard, and a lady was driving by and said, "Do you want to work?" And I said, "Doing what?" And she said, "I'll give you a call." She called me up about a half hour later, and next thing I knew, I was in the kitchen unloading dishes for.
At Soren's.
Well, they brought the dishes because I couldn't be on the floor until I was 16.
So they brought the dishes to the kitchen.
Into the kitchen, and then I worked in the kitchen and
Did you
unloading
have a
dishes.
dishwasher machine?
Just
I did that.
scraped them off. You did that?
I did in the military. I ran it was called the, it's a giant machine, like monsters machine. You sent tons of dishes through. And they called it the scullery. They called it the scullery. Ran Navy and the Marines.
Okay.
And so later on, you went into other work there, like
I became a busboy right after that. When
16.
Well, they let me in the end of 15.
Uh-huh.
And just said go ahead and act like you're 16. So we worked. All our friends worked. The whole neighborhood was invited. So we had really 4 or 5 kids that were here. So we all rode together.
Oh, you knew each other?
Yeah.
You were in both in, what high school was it, St.?
At LaSalle High School in South Bend.
LaSalle, which is
LaSalle.
a Catholic school.
No, it was it was the public school because
That's right, it was in your neighborhood.
it was in the neighborhood, and it made it convenient for all our parents to shuttle us back and forth on the bus. The bus was right out front, so.
Now, eventually you got into being kind of like a parking lot czar.
Yeah, that was fun. I used to park 200 to 300 cars out in the Morrison parking lot on football weekends and take all the keys and then go into the Morrison and do the bartending immediately afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At what age was that?
That was right after I got out of the service, so that was around 76.
Okay,
So I did the busboy and went to college, and then went to work and did both. Worked another job at a carpet store, and then came here until I got drafted.
You got drafted somewhere along there.
I got drafted in 71. I was supposedly the last bus that left South Bend.
And the last draftee.
The last of the draftees.
But draftees in those days, the groups were going off straight to Vietnam. You were in a good group.
I was in a very good group. 95 straight companies went to Nam, 100%.
With terrible numbers resulting.
Oh, terrible, yeah.
58,000 deaths.
There was 91 guys in our basic training that ended up killed in Vietnam. So.
But you got to
and
go
Laos.
east and stay in the States.
I went to Georgia and then went to Maryland, where I spent the last 20 months. And it was a great duty station.
Really? So how old were you when you finally came home?
I just had turned 21.
Just turned 21.
Yeah.
And you weren't married yet?
I was not married.
And you came home, and you went straight back here?
No, I worked at White Farm, which was at the old Oliver plant in town, which was the plow plant. So, and I did that for 11 years total, but I did 2 years there, and then I would go in from 7 to 4, come out here and work 4 to 12.
Now, White Farm does what? What did they?
They made implements. They made plows for all the farmers. They made plows
motorized ones?
Well, they made the tractors.
Uh-huh.
They made the plows, but mainly they made the plows for Harvester. They made the planters for John Deere.
Oh, they made stuff that went into the brand name John Deere
Yes.
or International Harvester.
And we just, as we made the same planter with different dimensions, we just changed the color of the paint.
Indiana's famous for engines and vehicles, and
Yes.
for the car was made by a drunken baker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so you got back here, and you were just after a daytime shift. Then you were working the evenings as bartender here.
Yes. It wasn't as late of a crowd as it is now.
Right.
Everybody was pretty well out the door at midnight.
And that was at
So,
Leahy's. Was that
That
Leahy's?
was, which turned into Lay's. At the time, it didn't have a name.
Oh, no name at all.
Yeah. So they had a naming, probably by 1985, 87. They decided to come up with a contest to name the bar.
Oh, they had a contest that Frank
And to
Leahy
name
won.
Sorensen.
Because I tried to say hello to you there, but you were such a small bar and you're so mobbed that it's hard to say hello to you. I remember seeing you there. We never met.
Yeah. That was a nice little piece of heaven right there.
And then
Yeah.
that changed.
That changed.
And what year was it they closed that down and
Uh,
it was the remodeling?
October 20th, 2012 is when they, the final BYU game, and then I went over to Legends.
Oh, you went over Legends for 2 years? About 2 years?
Well, it was only 10 months.
That's all?
10 months. They tore down both wings on the building.
So many of the people that knew you were probably coming right over to Legends.
Oh, yeah.
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 Kind of
So
got
it
following.
was easy. Yeah.
And then, so you had 10 months then back here. And so what year did you start? When you were like 17, when you first attended the bar?
No, I didn't. I did vacations right when I hit 21, because the law in Indiana is to serve a drink as 21.
Right.
So I started doing vacations for the guy that was up there.
Okay, so you
When I was
actually,
21.
give or take, you've got 40 years as
Yes.
bartender.
Yeah.
And what an incredible experience. Tell us a little bit about, let's start at the top. Tell us about Father Hesburgh's beverage.
Father Hesburgh liked his drink sweet, so he liked his Manhattans 50-50. And he always, as Father Joyce, liked his scotch, more scotch than water. And the two of them would come in there.
I'm amazed people with soda stuff.
Ah.
You were telling me about that. Some people order the name brand with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised. That happens on a regular basis.
Oh,
that
sure.
you just,
They're showing off the name. And
yeah. Yeah.
so Father Ned Joyce liked the scotch. And then how about people like coaches?
Well, all the coaches stayed at the Morrison up through Lou Holtz until we had the executive MBA program. Takes so many rooms, which they're staying here right now. They take so many rooms that you just can't put the coaches on a regular basis. Notre Dame owns a lot of houses in the area, so they put the coaches up there until they find permanent
You don't
houses.
see them at the bar very much.
No, back then, after practice every night, the coaches would come over and commensurate what the day was or what their problems were.
How about Coach Holtz? Was he here at the bar?
Coach Holtz lived here for about 4.5 months.
White wine.
White wine.
We were with
Always very quiet, sitting in the back, and read the material I had for the day. Usually he just came in and drank a Diet Coke and would read to escape the hotel room that he'd been in all day long. So, very good man.
What You've had several people, young people, but there was the one ladies, people turned 21 and they want to come and have their first adult beverage served by your hand.
Well, you're getting into the third generation now.
That's right, you've had grandmothers, mothers, and daughters,
Sure.
all from Notre Dame, all.
And they keep saying, we're going to pass it on. And as a matter of fact, the Siegfrieds now, that's the fourth generation.
Family
Because
name,
they
thank
served grandfather, dad, Bailey, and Haley, and now the daughter's here as a
Four
freshman.
different people why they turned 21.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. They don't really know what to order, for sure.
Yeah, it's quite a generation, and the Siegfrieds are very big donors to Notre Dame. Very nice people.
Oh, nice. What about the ladies? Didn't they come in like midnight or something like that in casual attire?
Yeah, Welsh Fam, when the old bar was directly across from Soren's,
Right.
we would get the girls from Welsh.
Right.
It's around February or March where the juniors turn 21. So they would walk across the patio there and pop into the Morrison. And on one occasion, we had about 15 of them show up in free slippers and furry slippers and pajama bottoms, and sat there and had their 21st drink together. And then went back to Welsh Fam, and that was it, because it was one drink and it was the middle of the week, so I had to get back to studying.
What we asked one time before, you had just one meal. You're struck on a desert island. You just had one meal. Things were really, remember sea rations?
Oh, yes.
Like nothing but sea rations, and all of a sudden you get one meal. What would that meal be?
I really like our salmon here, our whiskey glazed salmon. Cooked medium well, so it's all the way cooked through. And
No sides or anything? Or
I'm Irish potatoes.
Irish, it's an Irish survival kit.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what about a beverage or an appetizer?
Diet Pepsi.
Okay, no appetizer or anything?
No, not so much of an appetizer.
Desserts?
Desserts, ice cream.
Ice cream?
Definitely ice cream.
What kind?
We have chocolate.
You like chocolate?
We have a great chocolate cake.
Just by itself?
Yeah.
I like it. Some whipped cream or something. What is your, what do you want to be most remembered for? You've been kind of an institution here. What would you like to be most remembered for?
Well, I think Irish people are all hardworking, and I think that's what I want to stick with. I've been fortunate and healthy enough to do 231 straight games. Last game I didn't work was the Missouri game in 1977.
How was that?
I decided to go to that game, and then that's when I started up again. So
You don't get to watch the TV monitor very much when you're working, do you?
you get a little bit of the second period,
Yeah. Or if
the second quarter, I
if
should
there's a
say.
special replay, you might watch it.
Oh yeah, the next morning we watch, but the second quarter and a little bit into the third. But by then, if it's cold, if it's wet, if it's hot, they start filtering back. So the bar's pretty full by the middle of the third quarter.
What you want to go away, escape the pressure. But you work hard behind. I watch you
Oh, yeah.
sometimes with popping corks and everything else. It's a hard job. It's not,
Oh, yeah.
You're not just chatting with people. It's a
No.
lot of labor. Where was your favorite place to escape the pressure?
I think I just love my backyard. I just love it quiet out there, and just
You got a couple acres, don't you, or something like that?
yeah, I'm right out in the country, and I'm surrounded by 3 houses that we have probably 10 acres between us that we just set out there.
What do you consider the happiest period of your life?
Raising children.
Really?
It always is, yeah.
Oh, okay. Give me the name of 3 boys again.
Sean, Patrick, Timothy Michael,
Oh, great names.
and Corey Donnell, which is Irish.
That's 4.
D-O-N.
There's 3 boys.
3
now.
boys, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And And Notre Dame took pretty good care of those boys.
Notre Dame put all three of them through college, and
All expenses.
all expenses paid, everything. They all walked out debt-free, zero money owed, and got to start moving on with their lives. Very successful, all three of them.
What a way for any organization to take care of your favorite people.
Notre Dame's a great place to work.
Amen. Amen. What's your favorite time of the year?
Favorite time of the year is fall, although I don't really get to enjoy that much of it because I spend so many hours inside the bar.
It's football season.
But it's a beautiful time of year on this campus.
Do you find yourself more angst or animosity towards any one team when they come, or is there any one team that you find a little more?
I think probably Michigan is
Oh,
the team
really?
that brings the most haters. The rest of the schools are pretty peaceful, but the Michigan people seem to come to visit.
Push the wire, so to speak.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite? What's your favorite music?
Oh, as my friends always say, the Beatles.
Really?
The Beatles, the
Neat.
greatest band ever.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What about any favorite stars, like a movie or TV? Any favorite stars?
Oh, John Wayne, of course.
Oh, you know what people don't
Everybody.
know? You know people don't know who he is right now? And
Oh,
no,
he's-
I caught the kids. I think he's an NFL quarterback.
Ah!
And do you know, 4 days, he's in the hospital dying. 4 days before he died, you know what he did? He became a Catholic.
Oh, that's right. His grandson is a priest in Anaheim.
That's right.
And he wears sandals and he has the long hair like Jesus.
Yeah, they're very, he had a lot of Hispanics in his life.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite spectator sport?
I have to go with, I watch football and I play golf. That's the only thing that's left now.
Is golf really a sport?
Yeah, sometimes
You
I
don't-
wonder.
You don't perspire very much.
No, it's well, it's a nice walk, as the Irish say.
What do you think what do you think has been your favorite time of your life? Is it right now, or what was the time, flashing back, raising the boys, or what would that be?
Yeah, raising the boys, going to all the games, and it
No
was
grandchildren yet, right?
no grandchildren, but
Same here. So you have, but the boys, aren't any of this area?
one is here and one is moving back.
Yeah.
He just informed me that on
From
Sunday.
From Alaska,
From Tennessee.
Tennessee, and there's one in Alaska too.
He spent time in Alaska studying for environmental studies,
Now,
and that's the one
he's
that's
the guy
coming
that
back.
those creatures in the caves. He's a
Yep.
what's
He
that?
catches the bats.
He's a Batman.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
Batman.
that's what we call
Your
him.
father's a Batman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you were president of the United States. What would you try to accomplish?
I would take care of this earth.
The what?
I'd take care of the earth.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. We're not doing a good job in there, are we?
No, if you go to, as you live in Hawaii, you know how important
Amen.
the land
Especially
is.
with this is Volcano City right now. And is there any is there any philosophy you'd like to share with your boys or your friends?
Well, God Country Notre Dame is a good one.
Says it all.
Says it all.
Says it all.
Yeah, yeah. Take care of God, take care of our country, and, Notre Dame, it's a great place to work, great place to be.
Well, Patrick Murphy, you've served your country. You serve God every day. You're taking care of Notre Dame. So all three of them are very proud of you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.